Michelle Obama to get a check for $741,000 for a one-hour speech about diversity and inclusion at Munich conference. Michelle Obama raked in nearly $750,000 for a one-hour speech at a tech fair in the southern German city of Munich on Monday, DailyMail.com has learned. The 59-year-old picked up the eye-watering check for speaking to a startup event held on the sidelines of the annual Oktoberfest beer festival, two sources close to the conference organizers said. According to the event's webpage, the ex-attorney was set to speak to some 5,000 attendees on how to push past self-doubt while discussing the importance of inclusivity and diversity. The Harvard graduate will be paid €700,000 for her appearance at the three-day Love-In for European entrepreneurs, which is roughly the equivalent of $741,000. Organizers said Mrs. Obama had topped the list of people that participants wanted to see take part year after year. They really pulled out all the stops to get her, said one person close to the team behind the annual Bits and Pretzels Forum. It's one of the highest fees that they have ever paid. That sum is nearly double what Biden earns in a year as the current president of this country. Axios previously reported that Michelle Obama could be booked for $200,000, while her husband cost $400,000. Her fellow speakers include Oliver Kahn, a former German soccer star turned entrepreneur. The Bits and Pretzels conference is set over 3 days and hears from founders of national and international companies that tell their success stories, as well as guest speakers like Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama was the United States First Lady from January 2009 to January 2017 when her husband Barack served 2 consecutive terms as the Commander-in-Chief. She has been mooted in recent months as a possible alternative candidate to Joe Biden, 80, if he decided to pull out of the 2024 presidential race amid concerns over his cognitive abilities. Democrat Party bigwigs are worried that Biden could end up losing to resurgent GOP frontrunner Donald Trump. Even the Biden-bashing senator from Texas, Ted Cruz, believes Obama is preparing to run despite her denials. Here's the scenario that I think is perhaps most likely and most dangerous, he said on his podcast. In August of 2024, the Democrat kingmakers jettison Joe Biden and parachute in Michelle Obama. She commands wide support among the American people, and throughout her time in the White House the former First Lady consistently gained sky-high approval ratings, according to Gallup. In a recent YouGov poll, 77% of people said they still had a favorable opinion of her, compared to just 15% unfavorable. And 71% of Americans and half of all Democrats say Biden is too old to be president, and most voters say they are worse off since he took power, according to a damning DailyMail.com poll from June. Former President Barack Obama also spoke to the same Munich forum a mere 3 years ago in a keynote address that focused on entrepreneurial spirit and leadership skills. However, his fee for that appearance has never been disclosed, but he picked up nearly $700,000 for 2 speeches in Australia earlier this year. Upon leaving the White House, the ex-presidential couple, married since 1992, have focused on boosting their earning power through lucrative speaking engagements as well as a $65 million publishing deal with Penguin for their memoirs. Together they set up their joint production company Higher Ground, signing a multi-year 8-figure contract with streaming giant Netflix in 2018. Last year, the former First Lady staged a 6-city U.S. tour for her recent tome, The Light We Carry, in which she explained to readers the habits and practices, attitudes and beliefs that she uses to overcome her fears. The mother of 2 gets a Secret Service security detail whenever she travels at home or abroad at the expense of the U.S. taxpayer. It is thanks, in part, to a law brought in by President Obama in 2013 that restored lifetime protection for former presidential spouses and their family members. That piece of legislation reversed a 1994 statute that had capped Secret Service protection at a maximum of just 10 years for presidents who took office after January 1, 1997. DailyMail.com has contacted a spokesperson for Michelle Obama for comment.